What's going on, fam? You are now tuned into the All In Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Jenkins, and today is episode 14. We almost at episode 15. I wish I had an applause. I think I have an applause, but I'm gonna figure out. We're gonna figure that out. Um, Today we're going to be talking about knowing your worth, setting better standards for yourself, having some standards, right? And I really want the men out there to know their worth, right? Because a lot of times, and these are repetitive things, right? These are conversations that we constantly have to have. And I think, you know what, in order to do the work to undo these things, we need to repeat it so it's in our psyche, right? Manhood is evolving, the world is evolving, and there's so many things that we have to unlearn, but we have to take our worth and separate that from how much money we have, what job or what our status is, and can we attract a million women or get this girl, get that girl, or how easily can I sway people with my influence? Like, no, like you don't define yourself or have worth by external things, right? Now, from a world perspective, like looking through the world, somebody can tell you what you're worth, or you could be rejected by somebody, but that doesn't mean that's the ultimate of who you are as far as your worth as a person, right? And so I believe that is very important for us to know our worth. And one big thing for a lot of men is you have to work those parental wounds out, right? Again, go to therapy. We're doing some work here too. I think that's a big 1-2 punch. Therapy in this, or if you can't afford therapy, I need to find out by what other means therapy can be afforded all throughout that. And I think I'll start talking about that on the pod. But I always say if you're having trouble going to therapy, you necessarily can't get there yet. I think that 1-2 punch is going to therapy and this, or even that one big punch that you could have right now is this, right? But I really believe that men, we need to really work through parental wounds. One specifically, but not exclusively mother wounds, right? Mothers play a key and a vital role in a man's life. A mother makes her son feel wanted, loved, and cared for. And for a lot of us, we haven't had the childhood of a very loving, caring mother that desired us in a way where she was, all over her son and things like that. And some of us maybe had that or had half that, and then the other time she was, bugging out, going crazy. Everybody has a different childhood, a different upbringing, a different story. So everybody's life is different. But one thing you're going to have to do is deal with those mother wounds, man. Because if you don't deal with that, then you'll end up making women pay for everything that your mother did. And we'll go even deeper into that topic on another episode. But I see a lot of men like finding enjoyment in humbling women, like trying to tell women off or trying to tell women about themselves or being annoyed at women. And a lot of you don't know, but it's really subconsciously a lot of times an issue you have with your mother. How she didn't love you, how she talked to you, how she treated you, how she told you to shut up, how she yelled at you, how she cursed you, how she abused you. And because you were younger, you didn't have a say and you couldn't help but love your mother. Now you're taking it out on a woman who you decided you want to go after, or who you decided you want to be with, or the mother of your child, right? Or the lady or the woman you said you want to marry, or that you're married to, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, right? Or even every woman that you choose. Now, another big issue is that us as men have been taught by men to value women mostly by their looks. So there also has to be this work of not seeing a woman as an object of something to conquer, have sex with, and just have her for the time being however I want, and then when I'm done, I dispose of her. That's why you can't really value women the way you need to. You think women are just despicable to you and they're terrible creatures. No, there are terrible people, period. Men, woman. right? White people, black people, Asian people, Indian people, Mexican people, all types of people. There are people who just aren't good people. But then there are people, every mixed culture, gender, race, that there are good people. So you can't just think, oh, these women do this and they do this and they say all of these things and they're delusional and they're so stupid. No. Like, we've been taught and programmed to focus on a woman's body, how she looks, what she has, if you're taught to like use her for things. And when we do that, we begin to find value in what we can take and conquer, right, from her. And so when we're not taught that she's her own person with her own feelings, her own life, and this is somebody to respect just as you should respect yourself, you don't see it that way, right? I don't know why I'm losing my initial thought right now, but what was I about to say? I can't exactly remember, but I know that a lot of times we ended up taking those things out on women because we have these wounds that come from this void that needed to be filled with our mother. It's the things that you wish you could have said to your mom, or the anger and the pain and the frustration that you have towards women because your mother was a woman that you could never defile, come up against. And again, I spoke about the doghouse mentality. Our thing was, it was almost like the subconscious thing of never hurting a woman's feelings, never making her feel bad, never saying anything to again, hurt her feelings, right? A lot of times we were always men. So a lot of times we were taught that we don't have feelings. We don't have all that. Suck it up. Ain't no crying, ain't no feelings, none of that. You're a man. Men don't have feelings. Men don't cry, none of that. That's women stuff. So it's only reserved for them. And so we had to be delicate when it came to that, even if we didn't know necessarily how to deal with it or how to be delicate. We just knew that that's not an area that we want to mess up and touch. And so what happens for a lot of men is that you have these wounds and you end up, sometimes for other men, you deal with women who, that's what I was about to say. We've been taught so much about a woman's beauty and her looks that we weren't taught about how to choose the right woman, what to look for, what not to look for, because both your parents should have taught you. It's some things that your father as a man should teach you about a woman, but then it's a lot that your mother should be able to teach you about a woman and choosing the right woman. What you don't want to look for, what you do want to look for, right? And that's saying if your parents are healthy people and they have a healthy mindset, because some things people teach is just what is in people's subcultures, what's in their household, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing. But your mother and your father should teach you something about choosing the right woman, what to look for in a woman, what's a good woman, what's a not so good woman, what's something that you should stay away from, what's something that's maybe not so bad, but she could work on that and maybe you guys can grow, or how to be a man that can even lead, and what a woman really needs, and what might help her be a better woman as a man to even help you even be a better man again, right? By those things. But when we aren't taught these things, we're just lost in the sauce. We're walking down the path of life, learning ourselves and figuring things out, seeing TV, reading books and seeing movies and stuff that teach us all of these things. But we know that the world grows and evolves as time goes on. So we're forever learning about how to do things right, how to do things better, and what things weren't necessarily good, right? And so, yeah, we have to address those wounds. And for a lot of men, you need to take a break. Take a break from dating. I know it's not going to be easy and it's not going to say that you're going to get it right immediately. Take a break from dating. Take a break from focusing on women. Focus on yourself. Deal with yourself. Get disciplined. Decide and make a decision that this is what I'm going to do. I need to focus on some internal things. And again, when you think about the journey of growing and becoming better, it's not this straight road where everything hits immediately. You might backtrack a little bit. You might mess up. Something might come out that you see and you're like, yo, I need to work on that. That was crazy. Or I didn't even know that was me. That's wow. And so you need to stop choosing women because you have low self-esteem, or it makes you feel better about yourself, or you don't like being lonely, or You want somebody to caress you and rub you and say sweet nothings to you to make you feel better about yourself. Like, that is not what a woman is for. Now, can she provide some of those things? Yes. But you want that in a healthy relationship, not just to have a woman to make you feel better about yourself. That is not what they are for. That's not what women are for. Women are not to be used. Women are human beings just like men. They're just an opposite gender and they differ from us, right? And we're going to talk about on another episode, I think maybe the next episode, wanting women to be just like us, and they're different people. They have a different makeup. Stop being mad at women because they're doing things that women do. Stop being mad at women because they ask stuff that women ask. Women are going to talk like women and men are going to talk like men. They get annoyed with us, but we get annoyed with them, but we're different for a reason. Right? And so as a man, you want to start building some self-respect. You want to start finding ways to really respect yourself and love yourself to the point where you don't just throw away your heart and throw away your mind and your life into a gorgeous woman or somebody you're attracted to. And this person's a cheater. They're manipulative. They're disrespectful. They could care less about you. But as long as somebody's there, as long as you can call them, as long as you can come over and lay with them, as long as they can just do something with you and you're not lonely and I can have a woman by my side that make me feel better, I'll do it. No, 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 no. You need to draw back. Take time to build respect for yourself. I said respect. Put some respect. What Birdman say? Dag, what did he say? Put some respect. Dag, I can't even remember the words. But respect yourself. So you want to learn some respect for yourself. Again, loving yourself. And then start building your confidence from there, man. Like, that's what you want to do. So how do you start doing those things? And once you back up, you need to start figuring out what are some issues that I had with my mother that have affected me. Then you're going to have to sit down. Remember we wrote in one of the last episodes, sit down and write and think about it. Think about it. Now, it might be traumatic. It might mess you up a little bit because once you start doing those things, writing things down, you'll begin to see things and be like, whoa. And even find somebody that maybe you trust talking to. Maybe it's a coach, a mentor, a brother. Because once you talk about those things, you'll actually start feeling the feelings and realizing how you actually feel versus what you think you feel, right? And so you want to start writing those things out, seeing, okay, what do I go to women for? What is it that I constantly run to them for? What did this girl do to me? Okay, and after this happened, I started treating every girl like this. Or why can't I find a woman? Because every woman I choose cheats on me. Why am I constantly choosing cheaters? What is it in these women that I can maybe see that shows me early signs of cheating? Oh, maybe they've shown those signs, but I just overlooked them, or I don't necessarily know them because I was so caught up in myself of being lonely and being so distraught about being by myself, right? And so you want to realize that you can have standards. You as a man can have standards to respect yourself. I'm not just going to go on a date with anybody. I'm not going to just have a kid with anybody. I'm not just going to deal with any woman. You want to pay attention to women and see if they respect themselves, if they're respectable, because you don't have to curse out women. You don't have to bad talk them. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm so sick and tired of that. Dudes focusing on like being mad at women and want to curse out women and like women do this, women do that. Like, bro, if a woman is not good, just don't mess with her. Don't be bothered with her. Focus on dealing with a good woman. Like, you don't have to waste your energy and your breath on just making a million videos about how bad women are, right? It's just nonsense because like I said before, all women aren't bad, just like all men aren't bad. A lot of people need work. Some people decide they're not going to do the work. Some people decide they do. Some people struggle. But going back to the topic at hand, you want to make sure you begin to love yourself. Keep your word to yourself. Take yourself out. Learn what you like. Learn what you like to do. Figure out why is this big gapping hole in you of just low self-esteem. Like, why do I feel this way about myself? Because I don't think I'm that important, because my mother always told me I was stupid, because I was told I could never get anything right and I just want somebody to love me, or somebody told me I'll never be lovable. Okay, well, how did that make me feel? Well, it made me feel like I was dumb. It made me feel like I was unlovable. It made me feel like I can't get anything wrong. okay, so by me doing these wrong actions, how am I trying to reinforce a positive in that way to make myself feel opposite, right? Choosing somebody who I feel like will love me, but at least they're going to be there. You want to work through those things, right? And you'll find yourself in places where you say, okay, now I got to deal with this. So I can't just be so easy or so quick to try to highlight this girl or talk to a woman like this. Or you know what? I find all of these women in a bar, and it's because I'm drunk, and it goes from there. Maybe let me go to a networking event, or let me go on speed dating, or just let me try a different alternative. Like, you need to really take a step back and analyze, because you don't want to keep going down these toxic cycles in your life, right? You want to set some standards and have respect for yourself. And once you start loving on yourself and reinforcing that love, like making decisions that are better for you and not just making decisions because you have these things that have happened to you, and the self-esteem, the low self-esteem, the frustrations, the anger, the pain, the bitterness, the rage, the frustration in you, you're making decisions from that place. You stop making decisions from that place. And you say, you know what? I want to live different. I want to make different choices. I want to make different decisions. I want a better life. I want to be married one day. I want a good relationship. I want a kid. I want a family. I want to move into a house, but I know I can't continuously do life like this. Whether I'm the problem, whether the woman I'm choosing are the problem, like, I need to have better standards. Then you need to grow to be more emotionally intelligent so you can understand your emotions, the emotions of maybe people around you and what's happening. And like, listen, I said it before at the beginning, stop focusing on women and money, right? And I don't know why as men we think if somebody says stop making money your main focus, or money isn't everything, all we hear is like, you don't need money. Because the first thing men say is, well, you need money though. Money is important. Nobody said money isn't important. Nobody said we don't need money. We just said money isn't everything. That's it. Money is very important. You need money to live. You need money to thrive in this world. Money takes away a lot of stresses. Now, some stresses that you can't take away with money, but money helps with a lot of things in life. And so you want to begin to make decisions that help you be more confident. Like, start doing the things that you evade because you think you're not smart. Start making decisions that you evade because you think you're worthless, right? Start making decisions, start making choices, start living a life opposite of what you were living before. I'm trying to not make this confusing because I'm trying to think of some ideas. Like for myself, I'll give an example. So being younger, my mother still is a very smart person. Always went to school, degrees and all of these things. And being younger, she always made me feel like I wasn't that smart because of just how she reacted to me. And sometimes when I'm in situations that make me feel like I'm not that smart, or a situation where I could be very right, but maybe something was a little off or wrong, or I'm corrected, my nervous system gets a little shaky because now I feel like, oh, you so dumb. You knew everything about this, but you forgot that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I can't run away from, for example, posting on the internet or doing things in communities and things like that. Everything is not going to be perfect. But if I continuously run away because I don't want to be corrected, or because I don't want to mess up, or because I just have to be perfect, nothing will be done. And I won't reinforce in my mind that I actually am smart. And it's not that I don't believe it. It's just that in some moments, I kind of go through those motions in my mind and deal with those issues, right? And so those are some key things that you really want to work through. And the number one thing I'm always going to say, and that's something we need to get drilled in our head, get a relationship with God, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Your creator created you. He knows you better than anybody else. He has the very power to help you work through things that you would never think that you could work through. Like these insurmountable things, these big cliffs and valleys and mountains of issues that you think is so hard and tough. The Lord will help you get through them. Now, living your life for God as you walk and you grow won't be the easiest thing because you're growing. You should know more. You should walk in faith and trust God more because that's how powerful He is. But living a life for Christ will change your life like you could never have imagined it. There were things that I've had with myself, with my mother, with my father, with family. And it's crazy because thinking back on it, even though I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with, I'm not a difficult person. Some things I would be like in my mind, I can't let that go. I don't want to let that slide, or like, I don't know, I don't really care. Like, I don't want no love. Like, it's whatever. But now I'm at a place where I'm like, oh, that's not a big deal. Oh, I forgive you. Okay, well, I ain't gonna keep on harping on that. Like, that's whatever. Like, let's move forward. Let's love. Let's grow. You have no idea how the Lord will change your life. So, men, get a Bible, open that Bible, download it on your phone, have a conversation with God, pray, start calling out to him, find a church that might be near you, ask God to lead you somewhere where you can get in a connection with a brother or a mentor, somebody, a coach that can lead you and help you not only in life, but also in your life, in your walk with Christ, right? And so that's very key. And so that's the episode for the day, you guys. Have standards, know your worth. Don't allow your worth to be tied into your title or money, or if this girl like you or that girl like you. Like, just, it's not true. And we got to keep saying these things because it reinforces the truth. Like, we're not going to fully believe it until we keep taking it in. So with that being said, I'm your host, Michael Jenkins, and that's the episode for the day. Peace.